Gizz, and what should we talk about today? I think that what I would like to talk about is the history of wine. As you may know, or you may not know, but I'm here to tell you, is that the DNA of wine was located in the Middle East, in the Mesopotamia area, about 7,000 years ago by a rock doctor. He wasn't there to find wine, but in his investigatory levels, he found the DNA of wine. So we realize that it goes back that far. Now, I've always professed that civilization started becoming more civilized after wine had been utilized. Now, why do I say that? Wine has a way of being a beverage, a food, a medicine, a traditional liquid, and an intoxicant, which allowed people to feel the spirit. The spirits, that's why it's called spirits. Gets them outside themselves, in some cases a little too far outside themselves, but certainly not to Gizz. So let's go back to 7,000 years ago and move forward. We can jump a whole bunch of years, because what do they know about winemaking techniques back then? You get a bowl shaped like a rock, or a rock shaped like a bowl, maybe squish a little fruit in there that you're eating, throw the remainders in there, and it rains. It ferments, and then you happen to slurp it up, or some animal does, and they start acting crazy, and sooner or later man understands. We get into the Turks, who certainly had their way with the grape, and moved right up the peninsula. The Greeks, of course, they had an awful lot of gods, and their god of wine, to be specific, was Dionysus. As the Romans did, they hijinxed and hijacked a lot of things from the Greeks, changed the names to protect the guilty. They called their god of wine Bacchus. You all may have seen that famous painting by Peter Quidley of Bacchus flying through the air like a grape god, releasing the nude wine nymphs to the imperial vineyard to harvest the golden juice of Bacchus. Some point in time we'll take a picture of that painting and put it up on the web for you. Getting back to the reason why we're here today, to help you learn about wine. So, as the Romans so aptly did, they built roads, built aqueducts, and they took the priests to make the wine, tend the vineyards, to follow through and do all that with the wine. Hi, Kev. And obviously the roads were built to get the wine back to Rome. The aqueducts were built to water the vineyards, as well as other things. And then when the wine got back to Rome, all kinds of hoopla happened. They talk about the orgies. Well, certainly wine had an awful lot to do with that. And I'm not just talking about physical orgies, the eating orgies, the political orgies, all of this sort of stuff. And moving fast forward, obviously when Jesus or Jesus was around, blood, water into wine is the Lord's blood. Wine again is related in all kinds of religious tradition, and then again many spiritual traditions too. Not confusing the two and tying them always together. So with the different civilizations throughout time, even since then, wine always seemed to be, for most, a combination with the religious act, with farming in a socio-economic way for countries or for peoples, tribes, whatnot. Grapes are a weed that produces fruit. In some areas, those roots go down 300 meters Now that's almost 1,000 feet. The roots go down to seek out water, so it produces the grape. A weed that produces fruit. And what does that fruit do? Medicine. We all know that today, but they knew it back then. Fruit juice, very, very healthy. With the macerated leaves and pips and stems, it created medicines of different sorts. Also, to reintroduce back into the soil, it invigorated the soil. And of course, wine. The techniques of wine just became almost as different as the winemaker themselves. It's how you take that grape. And I like this story is you could take grapes from the same vine, give them to 10 different winemakers, and you can end up with 10 totally different wines. People may even guess that they're different grape varieties, but that's because of the winemaking techniques. And this gets into the aroma. The aroma is the general smell of the grape variety before any techniques are applied. The bouquet is what each individual winemaker will do to that grape in order to give it his own personal signature. Aroma, general smell of grape. Bouquet, signature of that winemaker's touch to that particular wine. So you get a general aroma from the wine and then the bouquet. So that's it for this version. This is that's it for this version. That's the Gizz saying thank you for listening and tune in for the next